This is George. He lived in Africa. He was a good little monkey and always very curious. If, like me, Curious George filled story times of your distant past, these words may echo in your mind. They are the first page of the first chapter of a little monkey's quest to assimilate a lackluster world into his own. Except they aren't on page 1 of the book at all. They're actually on page 11. Page 1 begins a seldom read preface about the creation of Curious George. We're all guilty of avoiding the preface sometimes. These introductions to books can feel like they drag on forever. But the truth is, the preface can be just as powerful as the prose. And to show you what I mean, let's go back to Curious George. The little monkey's escapades have captured the hearts of generations of readers, but the preface deviates from them. It tells the story of George's authors. And I promise, the monkey shines and mischief in this story will change the way you think about Curious George. H.A. Rey and Margaret Rey, their lives were on the precipice of collapse as they penned Curious George. The Jewish couple from Nazi Germany met and married in 1935. They honeymooned in Paris and discovered a shared passion for illustration, producing children's books and cartoons together. It was here that they dreamt up a little monkey with an insatiable curiosity. The Reys continued to work in Paris until the very end, until just hours before Nazis invaded the city. H.A. would later remark that we had to leave all our things behind in Paris, but worse things happen nowadays. They used their meager savings to buy a tandem bicycle that got them out of the city just in time. On the outskirts of Paris, the bike broke, but unfazed, the couple fastened 2 new ones from its parts, and they trekked on through the French countryside. They continued, and they were on their way to freedom. Yet at the last moment, a Nazi officer stopped and searched them. Where any one of us would panic, the Reys stayed calm and confident because they had an ace up their sleeve. Despite all of the chaos of their escape from Paris, they had held on to original drafts of Curious George. They used these illustrations to charm the Nazi officer with the story of George. And they had such a massive outpouring of passion for their work that they succeeded. And these drawings convinced him that they were nothing more than just harmless cartoonists, and they once again escaped by the skin of their teeth. From the preface, we start to get a sense that the Reys had this extraordinary ability to escape great physical peril using a combination of ingenuity and just sheer luck. It's a quality that also shows up in their easygoing protagonist. For example, when Curious George sees the man with the yellow hat dialing on the telephone, he wants to be just like him. And so he does his best to call 911. And when the fire people get there, they're irate. And George is like dodging and weaving through the furniture. And he almost escapes, but unfortunately they do catch him. George doesn't give up though. He just keeps going. He just keeps monkeying. And he finds a way to escape the watchman. And before you can say banana, he's already climbing out of Shawshank on the high wires. We can start to see that George is more than just an inquisitive little monkey. The preface transforms him into a manifestation of the Reys' cleverness and determination to survive. This is what a good preface can do. It can change the way we read a book, and in doing so, it can change the way we think about ourselves and our childhoods. So I implore you to go back to the prefaces you passed up and give them a chance. Or at least from now on, read the introduction to books. Read the preface. And authors, if people are going to be reading your prefaces from now on, you've got to make them spicy. They can have as much or as little to do with your book as you want. Perhaps write a sea shanty that sells to the hesitant buyer. If you're feeling self-confident, tell us why your book is so magical. Or tell us a secret, something that makes you shake in your boots. Take the time to show us something we've never seen before, something to break the ice and blow our minds. Or just tell us about the simplest, most wonderful thing that's ever happened to you, like having kids to read bedtime stories to. Just please, share something, anything, because the worst thing you can do is tell a story without a preface. Thank you.